Welcome to today's class. In this class, we will learn how to paint realistic water drops. In our last class, we learned process of painting techniques, but now we'll be moving on to some simple details and how to achieve them. And gradually, we'll go into bigger details. So if you are willing to learn how to improve your artistic skills, if you love to paint realism and you are joining for the very first time, do want to subscribe. So I'm trying to draw oval shapes. It could be circle, it could be oval shapes, and one of the key things to make a realistic water drop is to have them in different sizes. It could be 6-7 different sizes. The more the variation in sizes, the more realistic the water drop looks. So also, aside from the scale, the size of the drops, there's something you need to observe in water drops. That is a process of knowing your dark and light shade values, and this is how it goes. The color that I painted this background is cerulean blue, and this is the same cerulean blue here. So we need that in our painting. So whichever surface you are using, you need to understand that you need it in your painting as well. So let's use this to mix a kind of lighter shade first. It's very close to white, but I would advise not to use a pure white. So from what we could study from our pictures, we notice that the highlights are falling to the left hand side, the left stroke down part, because this is a 3-dimensional object. So it's going to blend into the actual background color. This is where we need the background color to come in place. So this is the actual background color, which is the cerulean blue. We need to blend it into the white. I have a tutorial on how to blend, so if you don't really know how to blend, you can watch the past tutorials. We also had tutorials on how to mix colors, tonality, and other terminologies of color mixture. So what we are doing right here is just to try to blend it in, the highlight into the midtone, which is our background color. Then we would need a darker shade, which can be from this blue. We need a darker shade, which can be from this blue, this ultramarine blue. Depending on what color you are painting, depending on the color of your background, that will determine the choice of color you use for your darker shade. Let's say, for instance, our background is orange. We can make red with a mixture of orange and black as our darker shades. So these are the shades that we are trying to create, not the shadow. There's difference between the shade and the shadow. So for water drops and hollow parts, there's always this study you need to know about how lights react on them. Yes. When you are painting something that has a hollow in it, that has a hole, let's say you are painting a cup like this, the inner part, the shadow, the shade in the inner part of the cup is always very different from, is always opposite from the one outside the cup. So you need to study water drops too in that area. This place that we're putting our dark tone is still the same place where we'll have our brightest highlight. This place we're having our shadow here. So, but before we do that, let's move on to the shadow. So for the shadow, I'm trying to just add a little bit of these blues to my black so that it doesn't look too dark. So from what we could see in our reference, we have this. The shadow goes this way. And from a general study about painting or drawing, the light and shade concepts, our shadow is always directly opposite the light. So, but when it comes to water drop, it looks like it's falling on the same part of the light. So all of these things are what you just need to note so that even without seeing a realistic water drop, you can create something. I've seen several artists that use water drops or bubbles on their piece of art, and that's what they use as their identity. So they have made studies about these objects and they know how to infuse them into their paintings. At times you might need a bigger brush to achieve a smoother blend. So that's that for that bubble. The next thing we need to do now is to create our highlight on the darker parts, and that's the game changer. That's what makes it look realistic. So, but for this bubble, I noticed there's a tiny highlight here for this water drop. So this is the process to create a realistic water drop. All we have to do is to repeat this same process on every other part of the painting. And I'll paint one more, and then would have to end this video because I really don't want it to be too long. We are still using the same process, and that's what I'll use all through this canvas. And from my observation, I think I don't want to use the ultramarine blue as my dark shade anymore. If at all I want to use it, I'll just have a little of it in my mixture. I think it's making my work So it's the same thing that you do to the big one that you also do to the small ones, and that's the beauty of the water drops. So there might be instances where you need to use a very tiny brush to achieve your details. Because in painting, the size of your brush matters too. Especially if you're working on a very small canvas. So, if you want to see the finished product of this, do well to check my short videos. I'll be uploading the final video on my shorts. So thank you for joining this class. If you want to learn how to paint realistic painting, do well to subscribe. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.